Hello students, Jai Swaminarayan. I am Professor Urvish Mewada, HOD Electrical Department, Sri Swaminarayan Institute of Technology, Bhat Gandhinagar. I am the subject matter of Interconnected Power System, which is in the 7th semester Electrical Engineering, and GTU subject code of the subject is 2170901. Students, we are currently discussing the chapter number 3, that is Load Flow Studies, and today we have the lecture number 7, in which we are going to discuss our last topic, that is examples based on the various methods of the load flow studies. We have studied different methods of load flow studies like GS method, NR method, DLF method, FDLF method. So we are going to discuss related examples of that theories, so that will be more clear to you, and such kind of examples will ask in your GTU exam. So this is our lecture number 7, and in last lecture we have discussed the various methods of load flow studies, in which we discussed the decoupled load flow method, that is DLF method, and then after we discussed the various methods of load flow study, we discussed the last method, that is FDLF method, say fast decoupled load flow method. And then after we discuss the means flow chart of the FDLF method, and the comparison of the DLF method, FDLF method with the NR method, so that we already discussed in the last lecture. Now today we are going to discuss the examples based on the load flow study methods that we already discussed in the previous lecture. So let us start with the first example, that is for the GS method. So see in the GTU exam, in the data it is that will be already given to you, that compute the example using this method. So this is the using first GS iteration, so we need to use the GS method. Now let us discuss the example, that is for the sample system of this is the diagram which is showing the branches and buses, and the links of between each buses, and the generators are connected at all the 4 buses. So assume that all the buses having the separate generating stations, and while loads are at the bus number 2 and 3. So at bus number 2 and 3, the loads which are connected, and with all the buses, we have all the generators are connected with all the buses. Now values of real and reactive powers are listed in table number 3. So we have 3 tables. So this is table number 1, table number 2, and the table number 3 will be say project in the next slide. So all the buses other than the slack bus are say PQ type. So this is the data given, and assuming say flat voltage start, find the voltage at the 3 buses at the end of the first iteration, first GS iteration. So this is the data which is given, and this is the resistances and reactances between line and bus to bus is given. So for 1 to 2 it is R is 0.05 and X is 0.15. Similarly, between each line and buses, the reactances and the resistances are given. And in the table number 2, that is, you can see that between each line and line, we have the conductance and the susceptance of the each and every buses are given. So it is 2.000 is the G per unit, and the B is minus 6.0. So for other lines, means 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 2 to 3, and 2 to 4, and 3 to 4, the data is given. Now let us discuss the table number 3. In table number 3, for bus number 1, P and Q, Pi is the active power and the reactive power is not there. Only the Vi is given, that is 1.04 at angle 0, because we have considered this bus as a slack bus. And for the rest of the buses, the Pi and Qi values are given, and in the remarks it is also given that this buses are PQ bus. So let us solve this using GS method. So in GS method we are familiar with this equation, that is 1 upon y2, y22 means it is reciprocal of the say resistance, sorry, impedance. So impedance is z, so z is equal to 1 upon y. So v2 1, so this is the first iteration, that's why v2 1, and P2 minus JQ2 divided by V20 conjugate minus Y21 V1 minus Y23 V30 and Y24 V40. So this is the equation in which we have all the values of P2, Q2, Y12, Y21 and Y23, Y24, all the values we have. So put that values and find out the value of say v2 dash. So 1 upon y22 is 0. P2 is 0.5, q2 is 0 is 0.2, and v2 0 conjugate is 1 minus j0. So y21 is say 1.04, and the v1 that is say minus 2 plus j6, and for the y23 and y24 and v3 and v4, the values are written like this. So the v2 dash will become 1.019 plus j 0.046 after solving the above means after putting the values in the equation. We have the value of v2 dash is 1.019 plus j 0.046 pu. Now from that we can calculate the next consecutive iterations. So the next is v31. So v31 is 1 upon y33. This is the equation which is common, so we are finding for 3. So each and every place the y will be y31, then y32 and y34, and the diagonal impedance is admittance is y33, and put all the values of the given which are given in the data. So this is the value that we put from the previous iteration. So this is the value which is placed over here, and by putting these values the we can find the v31 it is 1.028 minus j 0.087 pu. So the value that we determined from the previous values of value of the v21, that is v31. Now the next voltage v41 is same. The change in the equation is that only the diagonal matrix will become y44, and the power, active power, will become P4 and reactive power will become Q4, and the V30 conjugate that we taken for the V31, and over here that we are going to take the V40 conjugate, and the off diagonal the admittances are say Y41, then Y42, and the say over here that is Y33 V31. So over here you can see that by putting the values of this in that iteration v31, we can have the value of v41. So in this we are going to put the value of the previous two iterations, v21 and then v31. So after putting the values of these iterations, the value of v41 will be 0.6833 minus j 0.0062 pu. So this is how we can solve the values of say in the data it is given that the at the 3 buses at the end of the first iteration. So first iteration of each buses are say v21, then V31, then V41, we have the 4 bus, so that's why we need to calculate up to this, and after this we have this are the the date and the v means the values of voltage after computing the this example. So this is how we can solve using example using GS method. Now let us discuss the example number 2. In this it is also written that obtain Gauss Seidel power flow solution. So again we are going to use the GS method for the power flow solution, and for this the example is say written like this. So example is having the data which is shown that the one line diagram of simple 3 bus power system. So this is the power system having 3 buses 1, 2 and 3, on which we have the bus number 1 and 3 we have the generators which are connected, and at the bus number 2 the load which is connected to the bus number 2, and these are the line admittances and sorry impedances are written R plus jx form. So between 1 to 2 this is the impedance, this is the impedance between 1 and 3, and this is the impedance between 2 and 3, and this bus 1 is considered as a slack bus. For that V1 is equal to 1.05 at angle 0, so this is the slack bus. And let us discuss the data which is given in the example number 2, that is a one line diagram of the power system having generator at the bus number 1 and 3. The magnitude of the voltage at bus number 1 is adjusted to 1.05 pu, and the magnitude of the bus number 3 is fixed. So bus number 3 the magnitude of the voltage is fixed 1.04 pu with real power generation of the 200 megawatt. So this is the real power which we are inserting in the power system, that is the 200 megawatt, and a load consisting of say 400 megawatt and 250 MVAR is taken from the bus number 2. So this is the load which are connected at the bus number 2, and line impedances are say marked in pu on say 100 MVA base. So we have taken the base voltage of say of this power system is 100 MVA, and the line charging susceptances are say neglected. So here we are here we are neglecting the effects of the susceptances which are imaginary, and that is the say line charging susceptances, so that we are neglecting over here, and obtain the Gauss Seidel power flow solution for say 2 iterations. So let us discuss how we can solve this. So solution, so the line impedances which are given is Z12, Z13 and Z23 which are given. So from that we can determine the value of say Y12 is equal to 1 upon Z12. It is obvious that the admittance impedance admittance is the reciprocal of the impedance. So 1 upon Z, Y is equal to 1 upon Z. So for Y12 that will be 1 upon Z12. So we have the value of Z12, that is 0.02 plus J 0.04. So after solving this we can have the value of Y12. Similarly put the values of Z13 and Z23. So we can find the values of Y13 and Z23. So Y13 is 10 minus J30 and Y23 is 16 minus J32. Now the calculation of the impedances of admittances of the say all the buses. So Y11 is the means is the addition of the links, that is Y12 and Y13. So Y12 plus Y13, so we have two values of Y11 sorry Y12 and Y13. By putting this value we will have the value of Y1, that is 20 minus J50. Then Y12 is equal to say Y21, because both are say reciprocal to each other. So Y12 is equal to Y21. So Y21 is equal to minus Y12. So Y21, the value of we have the Y21. So from that then this will become minus 10 plus J20. Similarly Y13 that is Y31, and it is minus Y13. So minus 10 plus J30. Then Y22. So Y22 is say Y12 plus Y23 is equal to 20 minus J52, and Y23 is equal to Y32. So it is minus Y23. So minus 16 plus J32. So from that Y33 is equal to Y13 plus Y23 is equal to 26 minus J62. So after finding the values of all the admittances, form the matrix related to the Y bus. So Y bus is Y11, Y12, Y13, similarly Y21, Y22, Y23, and Y31, 32, and 33. So we have all the values, and that put means all the we already determine all the values of say admittances. By putting these values, we can form the matrix say Y bus of the given system, and bus number 1 is considered as a reference bus, or we can say slack bus. So V2 is V2 will be 1 plus J0. So now from that we can have the value of means the equation of the apparent power, that is P2 minus JQ2. So by putting the values of P2 and JQ2, that will be P2 minus JQ2 will be minus 4 plus J25, sorry, J2.5. So from that V2 dash is equal to 1 upon Y22 P2 minus JQ2 divided by V2 0 conjugate minus Y2 1 V1 minus Y23 V3 0. So by putting all the values of V2 1 and sorry V3 sorry V1 and V3 0 and V2 0 conjugate, we will have the value of say V2 1 is equal to 0.97462 minus J 0.042301, and bus 3 is say regulated bus where voltage, magnitude, and real power are specified. So that we already discussed in the data given section. So the Q3 1 will be minus Im V30 into bracket Y31 V1 plus Y32 V2 dash plus Y33 V30. So by putting all the values, we have the value that is 1.16 pu of Q3 dash, and the complex power at the bus number 3 is now calculated. So complex power is say V3 1 is equal to 1 upon Y33 P3 minus JQ3 1, and V30 conjugate minus Y31 V1 minus Y32 V2 dash. So by putting the values of each and every means factors that we use, and the data which we derive in the say equation, put all the values, and V3 1 will be 1.0162 minus J 0.0488. So since V3 is held constant at 1.04 pu, only imaginary part V 3 1 is remained, and row part is we can say that is under root of 1.04 square minus 0.0517 square. So that will be 1.039987. So V3 1 will be 1.039987 minus J 0.005170. So that we form for the V3 1. Now for V3 1, find out the value of say V2 2. So V2 2 will be the only the changes the admittance of this two V2 is say Y21 and V1, and the Y23 V3. So the put the values of V3 1 over here, and we can have the value of V2 2. So it is 0.97 1.57 minus J 0.043432. So after that we can determine the value of the reactive power, that is Q32 is equal to minus Im V3 1 conjugate Y31 V1 minus Y32 V2 is equal to Y33 V3 1. So by putting all the values of say V3 Y31 Y32 Y33, we will have the value of Q3, that is 1.38396. Now let us compute the value of Y32. So for that we use the previous iteration value, that is V22. So we have all the values, put all the values, and we will have the value of V32, that is 1.03908 minus J 0.00730. So since V3 is held constant and 1.04 pu, so only the imaginary part of V3 2 is say retained, and its real part is say 1.04 square plus 0.003 730. So by putting these values, we will have the value of say 1.039974, and V32 is equal to 1.039974 minus J 0.000730. So this is how we can compute uh, the any of the example using GS method. Now let us discuss the example number 3. For the system figure, so over here the diagram is shown. We have the 3 bus system. On 3 bus system we have the say these are the links of the buses. Now for the given system the Y bus is given, so no need to find out the Y bus initially. Every time just see read whatever the data given carefully 2 times, and then after decide what should you calculate and what should you do in this example. So the Y bus is already given for the in the data, and for that Y bus is the value of the Y bus is in pu. Now determine the bus voltage at the end of the first iteration. For the first iteration we need to find out the bus voltage at the and the NR method means iteration by the first is NR method, then B that is decoupled method, and the fast decoupled method. So for that the solution which is given over here. So for the given system, the solution is from the figure which is shown over here. The bus number 1 is the slack bus, and 2 is the PQ bus, and the 3 is the PV bus, so which is given in the data. So let us compute the system. So initial voltages are say V1 is equal to 1.04. Over here you can see that 1.04 plus J 0.0. So and V2 is equal to 1.0 plus J 0.0, and V3 is equal to 1.04 plus J. So means the voltages of the related buses are given on the means which are written on the diagram and near to the each of the buses. Now the Y bus which we formed over here in it was given in the R angle theta form. Now let us compute this R angle theta form into A plus JB form, or we can say complex form. So P2 power at the say bus number 2, so C raised to 0 we are computing this. So the equation that we already written for this method is G22 V2 square plus V1 into V2 G12 cos delta 12 plus B12 sin delta 12. So we have all the values of say the G22 V2 V1 V2 G11 G12 cos delta 12. So by putting all the values we will have the first value of P2 C raised to 0 is minus 0.239 pu. Now after that the power at bus number 3, so P3 C raised to 0 we are using the same equation. Over here you can see that we are calculating for 2, so this is G22 and the voltage will be the V2 and initial voltage. And then for that P2C we are going to use the say G12 cos delta 12 and B12 sin delta 12. This is according to the number of the bus. Now over here you can see that we are calculating for the 3, so all the terms which are replaced with the 3, G33 G22 is replaced with the G33, V2 square is replaced with the V3 square. Similarly V1 is same, V2 is replaced with the V3, and then G12 will become G13, and cos 13 will become cos delta 12, and plus B12 will become B13, and sin delta 12 will become sin delta 13, and plus V2 V3 G23 cos delta 23 plus B23 sin delta 23. So by putting all the values we will have the value of P3 C raised to 0, that is 0.118 pu. Now from the active power, now we consider the reactive power, that is Q2 C raised to 0. So for that we have this equation that we already discussed, and by putting all the values over here you will have the value of say Q2 C raised to 0, that is minus 0.97, and Q3 C raised to 0. We put each and every terms related to the the given system. So the equation will become minus b33, v2 is replaced with v3, and then vt is v1 sorry, and v2 is replaced with the v3, and g12 will replace with the g13, then delta 12 will replace with the delta 12 sorry, sin delta 12 will replace with the sin delta 13, and the b12 will replace with the b13, and cos delta 13 will replace with the cos delta 13. So by putting all the values, we will have the value of q3 c raised to 0, that is 0.458 pu. So now we have the equation of this delta delta p2 and delta p3 and delta q2. So the related parameters of this sorry, the related parameter of this the value of this given parameter is h22 and h23 and n22. So the for the three number, this will become h32 and h33, and corresponding to this lines, that is n22, and for delta q2 it will be m22, m23, and l22. So these are the parameters that we use for the NR method, NR method parameters. So delta p2 is equal to p2s minus p2c raised to 0. We have the values of p2s and p2c raised to 0, that will be delta p2 will become 0.793 pu, and delta p3 will become, according to the equation, 3 p3s minus p3c raised to 0, so it is minus 1.618 pu, and delta q2 is equal to q 2s minus q2c raised to 0, that is 1.0 minus 0.97 is equal to 1.97 pu. Now from that we can have the Jacobian elements, that is h22. So h22 is the equation that we already derived in the NR method, that is minus q2c minus b22 and v2 square. So for this parameter, the q2 is 0.97 minus into bracket minus 23.505 into 10 raised to 2. So the h22 will become 24.475, and h23 is equal to h32. So h32 we have the values, that is 12.373, so that will become minus 12.373, and h33, after solving this equation, just the changes, h33 will be means q2c will become q3c, and b22 will become b3, and b2 square v2 mod v2 square will become mod v3 square. So by putting all the values, we will have the value of h33, that is 24.965. Now from that we have the we can calculate the value of n and parameter n, m, and l. So we have all the values of say a parameter n, m, and l to determine. So that is n22 is equal to p2c plus g22 mod v2 square. So by putting all the values, the answer is 5.643. Similarly for n32 it is minus 3.06, and for m22 it is minus 6.121, and L22 is equal to Q2C minus B22 V2 square. So for that, the values that we put over here, that is minus 0.97 minus 23.505 into 10 into 1.0 raised to 2. So that will be 22.532. So using NR formulation, we put all the data related that we derived over here in the matrix form. So over here you can see that the 0.739, so 0.739 which is comes from over here, you can see that this is the 0.739, and the rest of the values that we derive, that is minus 1.618 and 1.97. so these are the values that we already discussed for the NR method. So by putting all the values and solving the matrix, multiplying by Jacobian inverse, we get say delta 2, delta 3, and delta mod v2 minus v2 is equal to the we are just doing the inverse of the matrix, that is 0.518 by after solving this. So 0.518 means 1 upon of this the given value. So that will become 0.0518, then 0.0265, and minus 0.0094. So these are the value of means first row of the given matrix. Similarly, we can put the values according to according to divide the previous values with 1. So delta 2 is equal to minus 0.023, and radian is minus 1.32 degree, and delta 3 they will become 0.65 radian is equal to minus 3.73 degree. Similarly, delta v2 is equal to 0.09. So at the end of the first iteration we will get v2 and v3, that is 1.04 at angle 1.32 degree, and v3 is equal to 1.09 at angle minus 3.73 degree. Now for the decoupled formulation, here n and m are taken to be 0, because we already discussed that n and m are is kept as a say very negligible. So by putting all the values, we will have the delta 2 and delta 3 is delta minus 0.541, and the 0.0265 in, and the second row of this matrix is 0.0265 and 0.053. So by putting all the values, the delta 2 will become minus 0.165, and delta 2 is equal to minus 3.79. Now delta q2 is equal to delta q2 is equal to the link that we that the parameter that we use L22 is for delta q2, that this is the equation that we already discussed in the previous previous lecture in the decouple method. So delta v mod v2 divided by v2. So by putting the values of say delta q2 and L22, we will have the value of delta v2, that is 0.07715. At the end of first iteration, we will get vt is equal to 1.07715 at angle minus 0.16, and v3 is equal to 1.04 at angle minus 3.79. So the for the fast decoupled formulation, we use this data. So delta p2 divided by mod v2 and delta p3 divided by mod v3. So we have all the values of b22, b23, b32 and b33. So and the delta 2 and delta 3. So the equation will become, after neglecting the terms of say means delta p2 by v2. So the equation will become means for the reactive power, that is delta q2 by mod v2 is equal to minus b22 at delta mod v2. So by placing all the values, delta 2 is equal to this 0.5256 degree, and delta 3 will be 3.84 degree, and from that delta 2 and delta 2 3 and all the values that we have placed over here, that is 1.97 divided by 1.0, and the value of that equation over here, the value of the b is 23.505, and delta v2, so delta v2 is equal to 0.0838. So at the end of the first iteration, that is v2 is equal to 1.0838 at angle minus 0.25 degree, and v3 is equal to 1.04 at angle minus 3.84 degree. So that we already derive over here. Just this is the that we write the values of the v2 and v3 after the first iteration. So in the decouple method, say this is the summary of this example. In the decouple method, after the delta has been solved, this updated values can be used in the solution of say delta mod v2. So generally we use the previous data that we compute from the example for the next iteration. However, in the above computation, both the angle and voltages changes have been say updated simultaneously, and this is how we can solve the examples related to the load flow studies, means which are having the various methods of the load flow studies. So after that, you have the the assignment question, that is the 3 bus system has the bus admittance matrix is given as below. So this is the values of the bus admittance matrix, and bus power and the voltages which are given, just you need to find out from the Jacobian matrix, and the set of the equation for the solution of say load flow problem for the first iteration of the NR method, and all the values are which are in PU and with appropriate base value. This is the first example. And now you have the second example, that is the following is the system data for the load flow solution, and you need to find out the solution using GS method. All the bus code and the bus admittances and the related buses and PG, QG, PD, QD and bus voltages are mentioned in this table. So find the bus voltage V2, V2 and V3 at the end of say first iteration using say GS method. So use acceleration factor, that is alpha is equal to 1.6. So these are the assignment questions after your this topic, and the related instructions which are written over here. So you can take the snap of the slides, and you can solve your doubts related to this topic in our doubt solving session. And if you have any further queries and doubt, feel free to call me anytime. So this is what I am done from my side, and thank you very much student. Thank you all. Jai Swaminarayan. Have a good day.